Hare Krishna. I'm sitting here on the staircase of our cooking pot, 4,000 liters cooking pot, which we used for 18 hours a day for 5 days at the Polish Woodstock festival, Pol And Rock. Reminiscing. Actually, the great Yajna that we performed is over now, and I came down here. It looks a lot different. Most of the people have gone, and there's, a lot of things, a lot of structures to take down, a lot of garbage to pick up in the general event, and I'm sitting here just reminiscing on our participation. A Maha Mahotsava, without any doubt. I'm feeling a little sad, although we have 3 more weeks on the Baltic Sea coast to do our normal festivals. It's just, what I saw was beyond anything that I could ever imagine, how big the preaching was. I'm remembering a verse by, one of my favorite verses actually, by Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati in his Chaitanya Chandamrita. It's chapter 12, verse 140. He writes, "The fortunate town of Navadvip remains on the earth. The seashore remains. The city of Jagannath Puri remains. The holy names of Lord Krishna remain. But alas, alas, I do not see anywhere the same kind of festival of pure love for Lord Hari. O Lord Chaitanya, O ocean of mercy, will I ever see your transcendental glories again?" Of course, this movement has a great future. It's stated that the Sankirtan movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will go on for 10,000 years, but these are special moments in the evolution of that movement. We've stated many times during the last few days some of the facts and figures. 160,000 plates of prasadam were distributed or sold at a nominal price. Kirtan day and night going on in our mantra yoga tent. Ratha Yatra, 5 days up and down the main thoroughway. Hundreds of devotees chanting, so many people joining in the chanting, the loud chanting of Krishna's name reverberating here, there, and everywhere. We're left with those memories. And very sincere prayers that we can do this again, or we can do even bigger for Srila Prabhupada. It's the essence of this movement. This is really a missionary movement. We're meant to share our good fortune with others according to our particular abilities, but when I see so many devotees coming together from so many countries and working in such a cooperative spirit, I mean, really our devotees, they didn't really participate in the festival, they served the people, so the people could get the experience of the wonderful world of Krishna consciousness. If you look at the photos and you look at the videos, yes, we're doing the kirtans on the Ratha Yatra, we're cooking here and there, and we're dancing in the kirtans and the mantra yoga, but really our devotees were on the sidelines facilitating the people's experience. For me, this is the highest taste. Seeing those devotees working so hard in the kitchens and setting up the festival and maintaining it from the background and doing the accounts and picking up the garbage. Our field was spotlessly clean. Really, we were here to give the people the experience of Krishna consciousness. Many times in Krishna consciousness, in general, we have our festivals. It's to Jetu Darpan and Marjanam, is to purify our hearts and give us the higher taste of devotional service, give us strength in Krishna consciousness in our temples and even our outdoor festivals. But the experience of inviting so many people into the world of Krishna consciousness and facilitating their experiencing the chanting, their tasting the prasadam, their dancing, and just experiencing Krishna consciousness, that's Woodstock. That's Pol And Rock. Our devotees are not so visible. The people are visible, and the joy is seeing them experience Krishna consciousness. So in that sense, we saw many miracles. A miracle means something that contradicts the laws of nature. And we hear about miracles 2,000 years ago in the Christian tradition and Muslim tradition and in our tradition as well. But if we have the eyes to see, we can see a miraculous transformation of the hearts of the people almost immediately in coming in contact with Krishna consciousness. One of the miracles was the weather. The weather forecast was, thunderstorms and rain for 5 straight days, before and after the festival. It only sprinkled a little bit. The sunshine it only sprinkled. So I took those sprinkles as the appreciation of the devatas for the Mahayagya. They were showering flowers. Because actually devatas, they're devotees of Krishna, and they participate in yagas. We hear how in the Vedic age the demigods would come from the higher regions of the universe and they would participate in the yagas performed for the brahmanas. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that by the performance of yajna, all desirable things will be bestowed upon you materially and spiritually. So in previous ages they knew that transcendental science, and material society prospered materially and spiritually because of yajna. But in Kali Yuga, the fires are not lit. There's no qualified brahmanas, and the whole process is more or less forgotten. But human life means to become Krishna conscious, so there has to be a yajna. And as we know, the yajna is the chanting of the holy names.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So when there's a big yajna, big maha mahotsava, I'm convinced in my heart the devatas come, just like they did in previous ages. Just like people in the mode of ignorance, they like to go to this party. People in the passion, they go to that party. So devatas, they like to go where their Lord is glorified. Yajna vai Vishnu. One time in London, in a kirtan in the temple in Bury Street, Prabhupada was leading the kirtan for the devotees, and then afterwards, it was really ecstatic kirtan. Prabhupada said, "Did you see them? Did you see them?" The devotee said, "Like who?" And Prabhupada said, "Lord Brahma and Narada Muni." The devotees went, what? Prabhupada said, yes, they were here. The kirtan was going on, the glorification of their Lord, so they came. And one devotee said, what were they doing, Prabhupada? Prabhupada said they were chanting and dancing and kind of laughing at you because you're like Kali Yuga devotees. Appreciating the attempt of the devotees. But there's an instance, a verified, authorized incident where Prabhupada said the demigods came. So when you're doing a Mahayaga with 700 devotees, and there's mass chanting of the holy names, mass prasadam distribution, questions and answers, many personal relationships going on between the Vaishnavas and the public in a big way, would not the demigods come? I'm convinced so many of them came, and therefore the weather was nice. The demigods assisted us. Prabhupada says in a purport in Bhagavatam, there's a very close relationship between human society, demigods, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So where the Lord is being glorified in a selfless way, just preaching the glories of Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, glories of our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, I'm convinced the devotees came, and therefore it was perfect weather. It wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold, just enough to make people hungry and wanting to chant and dance. So that's, for me, that's like a miracle. It contradicts the laws of nature that so many thousands of people would come and chant Hare Krishna. It reminds me of another verse by Srila Rupa Goswami in his Utkalika Valari. That's the vine of hopes. I think it's text 66. He writes about miracles. O handsome, fragrant, Tamal desire tree, blooming in the Vrindavan forest, and embraced by the Madhavi vine of the goddess ruling this forest. O tree, the shade of whose glory protects the world from a host of burning sufferings. What wonderful fruits do the people find at your feet? So when we're doing these programs, we're actually creating the Vaikuntha atmosphere. Vaikuntha means that place where there's no anxiety, or more clearly we're presenting Goloka Vrindavan. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Our Christian brothers and sisters, they have that saying. That we can manifest heaven on earth by performing the activities of the liberated souls in the spiritual world. So, yeah, so we saw so many miraculous things. So many people taking prasadam, long lines for hours and hours on end. But really for me it was seeing the enthusiasm of the people for Krishna consciousness. Actually, this festival has been going on for 25 years. We've been there from day one, from the first event. So a lot of people, many people know us. They come for the prasadam, they come for the kirtans, they come to hear the philosophy, they come to buy books, and they pull the ropes in the Ratha Yatra festival, and their taste increases more and more and more as time goes on. It's to be expected. People have their own pace in the spiritual life, but I was speaking with so many people coming up and thanking me and thanking the devotees for giving this facility like an oasis in this big, wonderful event, the Woodstock Pol And Rock Festival. We're indebted to the organizers, my good friend Yuri Goshek, who's the main organizer here. He's a good friend of mine. We're indebted to him for allowing us to be here and share Krishna consciousness with the people. And finally, I want to thank all the devotees who came here and just on the sidelines, in the background, facilitated the people's experience of Krishna consciousness, and all glories to those devotees, their selfless service. And, you know, thank you to the people. What would this event be? What would our village be without the tens of thousands of people who've passed through? And I'm not exaggerating. Tens of thousands, 160,000 plates of prasadam, kirtan, Ratha Yatra. Tens and tens of thousands of people. We thank the people for coming, and we thank them for having faith in us and for participating in the process of Krishna consciousness. We love those people. We're here to serve them, and we hope that their journey on Krishna consciousness, in Krishna consciousness will be smooth and will take them back to the spiritual world. So many verses throughout the scriptures. If one just takes prasadam one time, if one just chants the holy names one time, even unconsciously, Akata Sukriti, the seed is planted, and that's an eternal seed. And by the Lord's arrangement, these people will have the opportunity to experience the wonderful world of Krishna consciousness again, either in this lifetime or some future lifetime. But we were so happy to plant that seed on the order of our spiritual master and the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what to do now? This Mahotsav is over. A little painful, but our boys have worked really hard through the night, and they've packed our trucks up and all our gear. Ukrainian devotees, Russian devotees, Estonian, Italian, Spain, they're going back to the services, but our little band of brothers and sisters, we're going back up to the Baltic Sea coast. We have 3 more weeks, a festival every day, culminating in the great Janmashtami and festival, and my favorite day of the year, glorifying Srila Prabhupada and thanking him for this opportunity. So we'll be back with some more videos of our beach festivals, but thank you all for participating and watching and giving us your blessings that we could make this Krishna's Village of Peace at the Woodstock Festival, Pol And Rock Festival, a grand success. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Go Premanandi, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.